Hey, how's it going? It's your mystical tarot bun Katsumi here, and I've got a timeless reading just for you. I trust the universe has guided you here right on time, so take what resonates and let the rest gently float away. Now, let's hop in and see why a powerful energy is rising. Right before this reading, I also got like a message around something along the lines like, it was like everything's happening at the right time or something like that. Yeah, something along those lines. Like everything's coming together in accordance to the plan. So really interesting to see. And something around like mastermind energy too, right? So definitely someone in the background, either that's you or someone that you know, is like almost like masterminding like some sort of outcome, right? So that's very interesting to think about, you know, in the underlying energy and what's like around you at this time. But yeah, starting off, you have this sense of like fury, right? Like this is giving off almost like a sense of like things are spinning up and like almost like unraveling itself over time. I'm usually getting like this like idea of like a tornado. And when things get lifted up and put back down, they have a different place in general. So things are definitely moving and shifting around at this time. Definitely getting something that like it's creating unlikely or like unpredictable circumstances around you, right? Perhaps that might impact the people around you. So unlikely individuals might be popping up here and there in your, the next few weeks or months, right? And you might even have like some sort of like, we're getting like unlikely ally or like friendly creature vibes. So maybe some of you are obtaining a new pet. You didn't know this was going to happen. It just sporadically pops up and you have this powerful energy of love and just like friendliness around you. Or perhaps you adopt an animal or this animal just comes into your home and you're just like, well, I guess I have a pet now. So there's something like that. And there's definitely a sense of unfinished business as well after this like tornado like settles down. There's just some unsettled business that you'll have to just work out with a authority figure of some kind. Definitely getting like some sort of guardian or maybe even like a boss or like a coworker. And yeah, something in terms of some sort of injustice that's being almost like, I'm getting almost a sense that this authority figure is like tipping the scales in their favor. So there's a little bit of unfinished business in order to complete that puzzle and kind of like unlock the reasons as to why they're doing that in the background. Okay, forgiveness. So maybe there's some sense of forgiveness that's just popping up. I'm getting more of a sense of this fury, right? So maybe there's some sort of character or individual who popped into your life and maybe they've already been there for some time and they just want to, say sorry for some of the elements that they've, picked up and, thrown away, which way and the other, right? Maybe it was an actual physical, like plant of flowers or something, or maybe they went into some sort of illness, which is kind of why there's like an energy of like they just couldn't be there for you the way that they wanted because of that illness of theirs, and they just want to say sorry, and that's probably why they broke out in this sort of like fury of a like mentality I'm getting. So yeah, definitely getting that. Or perhaps an authority figure of yours kind of falls into an illness, so the scales are being tipped in their favor in terms of like the injustice that they might put onto you because of the illness that they've obtained. I'm getting a sense of that. It does feel like as though they have some sense of unfinished business and they just want to kind of clear the air and also give an apology to you. So there definitely be some sense of that. Oh, definitely getting a little bit of narrow path as well here. So yeah, that's very interesting. Alrighty. Let's see what else we have here. This deck is a little bit more interesting. It's more of a more of that intuitive vibe, right? Where you get the little pictures. Oh, interesting. Definitely got some construction vibes here. So there's definitely some sort of things happening in the midst, right? Where things are being built, things are being reorganized, shifted around, okay? We got some seagulls, so it probably, I'm getting a sense, like, like when you're at the beach, you hear a whole bunch of seagulls and they just keep, like, chattering it up, right? I'm getting a sense of, like, I don't know, like, it's like this loud, like chirping, like, I kind of get, like, that movie where they're just saying, like, mine, 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 right? So I'm definitely getting that, okay? Okay, so it's kind of funny, but it's almost like they're almost like representing how you're feeling about a certain situation where these people are like coming at you in that kind of way where they just like, you know. So it's almost like almost like reminiscent of how you're feeling about the energies, right? Yeah, we're also getting a sense of like almost like you're being an ally to someone at this time too, or vice versa, through your giving and reciprocity as well. So there's definitely a positive energy in that too. So there definitely looks to be that someone wants to apologize to you, but also give you something in return, right? Especially because it looks to be like they were kicking you while you were down in some factor or another, and they want to come back and kind of just like give their apology through a nice gesture, right? Also getting a sense that they kind of want to bring you back up with them in terms of like resurfacing with society and how like, and just creating a normalcy, like a normal frequency around things again. Yeah, it definitely does seem to be that through the injustice there were some sort of slippery slopes as well. And they might be like, I'm getting the sense of like they're ice skating freely on the ice, right? Whereas you're slipping and you're going back and forth, and you're going through these like endeavors with them, but they seem to be more on a fine path of just like everything's working out for them. But there is some sense of just like, while they might think everything's fine to them, you might not see it that way, right? It's very interesting. Yeah. Or perhaps they're like having the slippery slope vibe, right? This SOS vibe, this idea of like feeling almost like they are not presenting themselves in the way that they think they are, and so they come off in a different manner, which looks a little bit strange to the outside viewer, right? The outside spectator. But it does look to be that through the relationship, things will work itself out, right? Things will harmoniously balance themselves out and flow seamlessly, like music, flow seamlessly as though you're skateboarding and with bliss, right? Kind of almost getting the sense of like easy breezy vibes, right? Oh, interesting. 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands in your situation and what's helping or hindering you. So that's very interesting to see. So with the 7 of Swords, definitely getting a sense of like, there's a little bit of like running away, like hidden motives of some kind. Almost like some sense of like deceit happening in the background there. So there's definitely someone who is like creating some sense of like craziness around you. But like this energy is like so powerful to the point where you almost want to kind of just like run away and kind of just hide your intentions so that it doesn't like impact the situation further. Also getting a sense that with the what's helping or hindering with the 4 of Wands, that you do want a sense of stability, and that's probably why you're kind of like hiding your motives with that 7 of Swords there. And because you want stability and harmony within the home and within the foundation, you're just hoping that in the end that things will work itself out, and then you could celebrate with a sense of like just union, like unifying certain things, right? Kind of what I'm getting there. Ooh, interesting. 3 of Pentacles in your subconscious and influence. So with that 3 of Pentacles, definitely getting a sense that you are very interested in collaborating with someone, building things with them, growing, having a sense of like you're almost like crafting things with them in a skillful manner. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Cards are definitely being very interesting. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Okay, so in the past, you also have a sense of 6 of Swords, Page of Wands. That's very interesting. Page of Wands, definitely giving that sense of like curiosity, enthusiasm. And you could definitely get a little bit of sense of that in the 6 of Swords there too. But with that Page of Wands, you're really just coming forth in the sense that you're just learning, you're building new paths forward, right? Yeah, you're just coming at things with a sense of curiosity in terms of like, why is this happening? What's going on? But you're also opening up the new paths to, especially with new paths as you learn what's occurring, right? And with that Six of Swords, it's really just about you transitioning, right? You're moving on, you're healing, and you're recovering from the past circumstances. And definitely getting a sense of that. Yeah. And in your goals and your ideals, you have a sense of the lover, which is just giving off that strong sense of partnership that I was getting a sense of, right? That sense of unification. You're having a sense of unity. You're choosing in unity, and you're choosing alignment with those around you, right? So that might be just with an authority figure in general, okay? Ooh, wow, that's interesting. So in your near future, you also have the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Double wand energy there. That's interesting to see. So the wands is really just about your passion and your spirit about things, your action towards things, right? And so with that Queen of Wands, you're definitely coming forth in a sense of like confidence and warmth in your near future. You're creating things, you're being very strategic and being a leader in how you're manifesting that. And with the Eight of Wands, you also have a strong sense of momentum forward. Definitely getting that forward momentum, that forward flow in travel, and as well as speed as well. So just a lot of forward movement coming forward. Okay, a lot of harmony here with the Three of Cups in your approach. So you have a sense of like joy and friendship coming through. This sense of like community is present, a sense of support, and you're just gathering, right, with those around you. And that might be with like the friendly creatures that you have, the unlikely allies that are supporting you through some of the things that you're going through with this authority figure and the injustices that you're facing, as well as perhaps some of those sudden illnesses that you or another is facing, right? Oh, interesting. And then within your environment, you have the Page of Pentacles, okay? So with the Page of Pentacles, you're definitely getting a sense of sowing the seeds of the future, right? Planting the seeds of prosperity. Opportunity is on its way. There's a potential for things to arise in your environment because you're sowing those seeds, right? And then with the Seven of Wands, I was also getting Seven of Sword vibes there as well. Seven of Swords is almost like running away from things, but you already have that in your current situation. We're definitely getting a little bit of underlying energy there with the Seven of Wands, which is interesting to see. So you're in a stance, right? And this stance is very defensive in a way where it's like you're protecting your energy, but you're being very courageous about it as well, right? And you might even be so much so in this defensive stance that you're ready to take on any challenge or obstacle that's coming your way. That's what you need to know. So just be mindful that, just be ready for any obstacle that's coming your way. You got this. You're already in that defensive stance. Okay. And then with the Six of Pentacles, Knight of Cups in your final outcome, you definitely get a sense of like giving, like a sense of like reciprocity, a lot of fairness, and getting balance, right? In the material, physical, mental, spiritual, and how you like see your resources, right? And that's very powerful to see because it's almost like you're almost like balancing the scales of injustice, right? Because of that reciprocity. You're just giving and taking. Yeah, definitely getting that sense of like forgiveness, being able to understand both parties and just take things in, right? So you're having this very strong, powerful energy of just balance and harmony coming through, so much so that you want to just collaborate and come together with those around you. Yeah. Definitely also getting a sense with that Knight of Cups there that you have almost like a sense of charm around you in terms of your pursuit and how you think about things. This might even be romantically as well. There's just like almost like a sense of like romanticizing things, having a charm about things, having this like dream like, feeling around you, aura around you, very in a sense of like idealism. You're just like having a sense of pursuit with you, right? But let's check out what other powerful energies are rising at this time around you. Ooh, interesting. Inheritance and correction. Ooh, that's interesting. So maybe some of you are going to come into some sort of inheritance as well after the illness of a authority figure in your life, a guardian of some kind, or maybe this has already happened. And maybe it was through some injustice that arose through their illness, right? Or they got an illness through some sense of injustice, which is why there's an inheritance being made to you. Okay. Also getting a lack of empathy and confrontation. Yeah, definitely happening with that forgiveness and that injustice occurring, right? You see these hands that are like bandaged up, right? And it's like this brawler vibe. Like these two hands are bandaging. He's like this one hand has the bandage, and the other hand is being bandaged up. And you have like these roses and these thorns popping up, and that's kind of like you have this love, but at the same time you have like this pain, this grit, right? This brute force of things with the brawling, right? And so it creates a sense of like lack of empathy around the current environments where confrontation is occurring, and so there might be injustices that arise from that, but there seems to be some sort of unlikely ally or just an authority figure of some kind that is just coming through to kind of just like release that energy, right? Ooh, interesting. Self-expression and strength. Yeah, you're definitely showing up in a strengthful position, especially with that Seven of Wands. And you're just having a strong stance about things, but you're also having a sense of self-expression in it as well, which is really nice to see. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Also getting a lot of determination and certainty this week around just like the energies in general. Very powerful energy around determination and certainty around things. So you're just definitely coming in with someone who's very determined, very certain, very almost like you're at this like, I wouldn't say stalemate, but you're just not making a decision right now. You're just kind of like keeping your position and like keeping it firm and solidifying it. Interesting. Yes, very responsible and expectations. Yeah. So you're just being very adventurous at this time. You're being responsible in terms of how you come across and like how you view things, and almost like you're not expecting much. You just kind of, you know that this is what it is, and if it's more than that, okay, cool. But you're not letting your expectations like supersede anything or like go beyond what it is that is like physically possible, right? Interesting. You also have a sense of cause and effect and clarity. Okay, so with that forgiveness that you'll be receiving, right, from either through some sort of injustice or through a authority figure or even through an unlikely ally, right? You're going to be having a sense of like clarity through that for sure. And you might even get clarity through your dreams. Dreams are very powerful in the sense that they are able to depict what it is that you need to know. It may not be exact instances that you are experiencing, but the story itself will depict something of similarity to what it is that you're experiencing. You also have a sense of parenthood and legacy coming through here too. Yeah, which is nice to see. It just shows you as someone who, oh wow, that card really flipped out. It just shows you as someone who's just very like nurturing, very full of, I'm getting this word like authenticity. You're just really thinking about leaving that legacy behind, but maybe someone also sees you in this factor as well with that inheritance, right? And you're also taking the time to experiment and just be very rebellious about things, but in a good way. Not too much rebellion, but really just in a thoughtful manner, where you're just being responsible and you're just making tough decisions that will require you to have swift action, but in a responsible way. Yeah, so those are all the positive energy that I'm getting there. You're just being very powerful about that, okay? Yeah, those are all the energies that I'm seeing and sensing at this time, and all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and if this reading resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and join our cozy community by subscribing. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.